Hello garden friends, it's Miss Malia in the Ross Garden coming to you with another super fun garden lesson today. So let's get our seeds ready. 1, 2, 3. Plant the little seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down comes the cool rain, soft and slow. Up come the little plants, grow, grow, grow. Nice work! Check out this plant we're talking about today. Can you tell what this is? By my drawing? Maybe or maybe not. This is a corn plant. And today we're going to talk about popping corn. Pop. What rhymes with pop? Let's see. Pop. Hop. Stop. Nice rhyming words, friends. So we're talking about popping corn. Let's see what we know about corn already. Have you eaten corn before? How have you eaten it? Have you eaten like corn on the cob? Have you eaten popped corn? I love popcorn. Let's talk about parts of the corn plant. Has anyone ever seen corn grow? We had corn in our garden until just a little while ago when it was time to harvest the corn plants. And so we took it all down. And I have some of those parts of the corn plant to show you today. But here, let's look at our picture first. Here, the part that it grows on, that's called the stalk. The corn stalk. Kind of like the stem. It's like a giant stem that grows up out of the ground. Here's the dirt. Grows up out of the ground to this big stalk. And then you have the leaves that come off of it. And then you have the ears of corn. Isn't that funny? We call them ears of corn. An ear of corn. So on this ear of corn, we have the cob. And on the cob, here, let's write that out, cob. And on the cob of corn, we have the corn kernels, the kernels of corn. The corn kernel. Let me show you a few of our ears of corn that we harvested in the garden. Before I do though, who can tell me what color corn is? What color is corn? What color have you seen? Often we see yellow corn. A lot of times we see yellow or kind of a golden color of corn. But did you know that corn can grow in lots of different colors depending on the type of corn plant that it is? I'm going to have you peek right in here. Let's see. Here is our dried ear of corn. This on the outside is called the husk. Can you see that? The husk. We talked about husk last time when we talked about our wheat. So this is the outside, the covering, the coat keeps it warm. That is our husk of corn. Set that down for a minute over there. All right, so take a peek inside here. What color do you think this corn might be? Let's see. Ooh, we're gonna take a peek. Oh, wow, look at that. It's yellow and gold, and this has some purple and some almost white in there. Let's take another quick peek at another type of corn that we grew in our garden here at Ross. This one has really large kernels of corn. Do you see all those kernels? Each one of those is a kernel, and that's where the seed is for the corn. That is the corn seed. Who remembers how to spell seed? Seed. Nice. Okay, I'm going to show you one more type of corn that we grew that I think is really beautiful. You may not like it. I think it's really neat. Okay, so the husk is almost a purple color, and whoa! Look at that! Look at those really rich, vibrant colors. Have you ever seen corn that color before? It's really fun. All right, friends, so we talked about our parts of the corn plant. We have our stalk, our leaves, we have our ear of corn, and then on that ear is the cob. So the cob, this part in here, is what the seed or the kernel grows from. Sometimes we roast or cook this or grill it, and then we eat corn on the cob. Or we take some of those seeds or kernels. You see those? Woo! And we take those, and what do we make out of those? Do you know? We can make popcorn. All right, friends, I think we might have a special treat for you today in our garden demonstration lesson. But until then, I'm going to say goodbye. Hi, friends. For today's lesson, we're going to read The Popcorn Book. Oh, look at all this fabulous popcorn that's happening right there. I see Tony and Tiny. Mom, can we make some popcorn? Yes, the popcorn's in the refrigerator. Yummy! I wonder why Mom keeps the popcorn in the refrigerator. I don't know. I'll go look it up. Here it is. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator so the kernels keep their moisture. That's interesting. That's something new that I didn't know before. Boy, this is interesting. Listen. Popcorn is the oldest of the three main types of corn. There is field corn, which we feed to animals like cattle and pigs, sweet corn, which is the kind we eat, and popcorn. Popcorn was discovered by the Indian people in the Americas many thousands of years ago. One of the first sights Columbus saw in the New World was the Indians in San Salvador selling popcorn and wearing it as jewelry. All right, this guy's saying, first I heat up the pan. But popcorn is even older than that. In a bat cave in New Mexico, archaeologists found some popped corn that was 5,000 years old. Can you imagine? And 1,000-year-old popcorn kernels were found in Peru that could still be popped. Now he's adding the cooking oil into the pan. The Indian people of the Americas had many different ways to pop popcorn. One way was to put an ear of corn on a stick and hold it over the fire. But many kernels were lost in the fire with this method. Another way was to throw the kernels right into the fire by the handful. The popcorn popped out all over the place, so there was a lot of bending and running around to gather it up. That looks like fun. Okay, now it's hot enough to add a few kernels. In 1612, French explorers saw some Iroquois people popping corn in clay pots. They would fill the pots with hot sand, throw in some popcorn, and stir it with a stick. When the corn popped, it came to the top of the sand and was easy to get. The Iroquois people were fond of popcorn soup. You ever heard of popcorn soup before? That sounds really interesting. This guy says, soup? The Algonquians, who came to the first Thanksgiving dinner, even brought some popcorn in deerskin pouches. The colonists liked it so much that they served popcorn for breakfast with cream poured on it. Popcorn for breakfast! Yum! Today, Americans use 500 million pounds of popcorn each year. 30% of that is eaten at movies, circuses, ball games, and county fairs. 10% is saved for seed and sold to other countries. But 60% is popped right at home. That's over half. Oh goody, the kernels are popping. That means the oil must be ready. People in the Midwest buy more popcorn than in any other part of the United States. Milwaukee and Minneapolis are the top popcorn eating cities, followed by Chicago and Seattle. Most of the popcorn is grown in the Midwest, too. All right, now I'll put more kernels in the pan and turn the heat up. Now here's the part I read first. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator so the kernels keep their moisture. If the kernels dry out, there will be too many left at the bottom of the pan. Too many unpopped kernels. You don't want to waste any. And this guy says it doesn't look like enough. What's he going to do over here? He's adding a lot more to the pan. Let's see what happens. If the popcorn does dry out, you can add 1 or 2 tablespoons of water to the jar and shake it until the water is absorbed. So popcorn pops because the heart of the kernel is moist and pulpy and surrounded by a hard starch shell. So that means, remember earlier we were talking about a tiny drop of water inside that kernel. When the moisture turns to steam and the heart gets bigger, and then the shell bursts with a pop. So that little tiny drop of water heats up, and can't take it anymore, and pops or explodes. Pop. Are you sure you didn't put too much popcorn in the pan? Of course not, silly. We'll see what happens. What do you think is going to happen? There are different kinds of popcorn. White, hull-less, and yellow, hull-less are the ones most commonly sold in stores. The smallest type is called strawberry because it has red kernels and the ears look like strawberries. Rainbow has red, white, yellow, and blue kernels. It is sometimes called calico. There is black popcorn too, but all of it pops white. The biggest kernels are called dynamite and snow puff. All right, shaking up the kernels here in that hot oil. After popcorn is popped, most people like to put melted butter and salt on it. But if salt is put in the pan before the kernels are popped, it makes the popcorn tough. That's interesting. All right, shake, shaking that pan, making sure those kernels don't burn. There are many stories about popcorn. One of the funniest and best known comes from America's Midwest. One summer, it was so hot and dry that all the popcorn in the fields began to pop. In no time at all, the sky was filled with flying popcorn. It looked so much like a blizzard, everyone put on mittens and scarves and got out the snow shovels. Help! I have a blizzard too! I knew you put too much popcorn in the pan. Okay, if you're so smart, what do we do now? I know. What do you think they're gonna do with all that popcorn? The best thing about popcorn is eating it. The end.
Hi everybody, Miss Kim here. I'm at the Ross Early Learning Center in East Nashville, and we're in our Plant the Seed garden today, and we're going to do corn today as our art project. We're going to draw a corn, and we're going to label it with our journal word cards. All right, so I'm going to get my yellow. You can use a yellow crayon, or you can use a pen or a marker, whatever you want. And corn can be all different colors, so it can be yellow, blue, red, whatever color you want to make your corn. And I'm going to just draw some corn the best way I know how. So, start with kind of a long oval shape. Then I'm going to draw my kernels, which is the part we eat. I'm not going to draw them all right now because I want to make the video as quickly as possible so you can get your work done. But you can draw as many kernels as you want, and you can make them different colors if you want to. You can do it however you'd like to. It's your ear of corn. Next, I'm going to draw the husk. The husk is the outer part. This is the husk. Inside, if you peek inside of your husk, if you peel it back like a banana peel, you can see your corn. See that? All right, so I'm going to draw my husk. And then this part right here at the very top that looks like hair, it's right here at the top, that is the tassel. So I'm going to draw the tassel, and then down at the bottom I'm going to draw the stem. All right, now I'm going to take my vocabulary cards, and I'm going to get my pen, and I'm going to label it. So let's see, we've got kernels, which is the part we eat. Kernel, K-E-R-N-E-L, kernel. And then we have the ear, which is the whole piece of corn, the whole part of the corn that you eat. E-A-R, ear. Okay, and then we have the husk. The husk is the outer part. This part right here kind of looks like a banana and a banana peel, doesn't it? So that's the outer part. And then we'll go to our next page, to stalk. The stalk is the stem that the corn is growing out of. And last but not least, the inside part where the kernels grow out of, this part right here where the kernels come out, that's called the cob. So sometimes when we eat corn, we eat it right off the cob. Corn on the cob. And that, my friends, is our corn diagram. So use what art supplies you have and draw your own corn. Have a great day, everybody. Hi, everybody. Miss Kim here, coming at you from the Ross Early Learning Center in East Nashville. I'm in our Plant the Seed garden, and today we are going to be talking about corn. This is what corn looks like when you pull it off of the stalk, which is the stem that holds the corn. So this is called the husk. And this is the part that we peel back. And inside, if you peek, there is your corn. So this one has been peeled back, and it still has, the husk has been peeled back, and it still has its tassel. This is called a tassel, and this is a very important part of growing corn. The tassel, whenever the wind blows, it blows the seeds down into the corn so that the kernels of the corn come out of the cob. So this is the part we eat. I think we all know that, though. Well, there are different kinds of corn. So we have red corn, blue corn, we have all kinds of different corn that we use to eat. Popcorn is a different type of corn than sweet corn. So whenever we eat our sweet corn, it's something different, that the kernels are more sweet. Popcorn is a type of corn that's not quite as sweet, but whenever you pop it, it's really firm and it tastes really good. So today we are going to make popcorn, and we're going to make herbed salt. And our herbed salt is going to be made with this beautiful rosemary. Oh, it smells so good. We're going to take the rosemary and we're going to squish it up into the salt, and it's going to taste so delicious, and then we're going to sprinkle it onto our popcorn. So let's go ahead and break some popcorn off. Some rosemary off. Something I like to do when I do rosemary, because the leaves of the rosemary, here I'll show you, are like pine needles almost. They're kind of long and they can be really pointy and prickly. So I like to kind of break it up. Just break it up a little bit into your salt, because that's going to be a lot easier to mix in with your salt. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put some salt in. I'm going to go ahead and pour some corn in. I have a little bit of oil in there so that my salt will stick. And then I'm going to turn it on while I make my salt. So it takes a minute to get it hot so that it pops. Now, I'm going to take this and put some salt in my pestle and mortar, which is just something that you can squish up you can crush up something with. I've got my salt and my rosemary in there, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to crush it up really good. Crush it really well. Oh, it's going to be so good on the popcorn. Okay. It just releases this wonderful rosemary flavor into our salt. You can do all kinds of things with popcorn. You can put cinnamon and sugar on it, make it like kettle corn, do all kinds of neat things with corn. Looks like it's getting hot and it's about ready to pop. All right. My salt is ready. Let me get my bowl. Go ahead and put this on top. Whenever it comes out, it just flies out. You have to catch it. Woo! It's starting. Here, I'll zoom you in. Whoa, you see that? There it goes. Pop, pop, pop. Oh my goodness, this is going to taste so delicious. I know you can try it at home. And now you know, my friends, how to make popcorn. Wait until the popping noise stops. Whoa, it looks so good. Oh my goodness, look at all that popcorn. All right, and so now I'm going to turn off my popper. And I'm going to sprinkle some of my rosemary salt on. And there we have it. Delicious popcorn. So good. Everybody try this at home and have a great day.
Hi friends, it was so fun to be together today for our popping corn lesson. So let's think about what we talked about and what we learned today. We learned all the different parts of the corn plants. We learned about the stalk that it grows on, the leaves that grow out of the stalk, and the ears of corn. Remember those ears of corn? The ears of corn that grow off of that stalk as well. And on each ear of corn, it is covered in this warm husk. And then on the cob is the middle part in here. Off of the cob grow the corn kernels or the corn seeds. We learned that corn can come in lots of different varieties, lots of different colors. Some corn we use to feed ourselves. Some corn we use to feed animals that we're growing. That's right. And some corn we grow specifically to pop. That's right. And why does that popcorn pop? Who remembers? Because each little seed or kernel has what inside of it? Inside each tiny one, there's an even tinier drop of water. That's right. And when water heats up, it gets really antsy and it gets really bubbly until it just explodes and pops into our beautiful popcorn. So friends, I hope you get a chance to try some popcorn today or sometime soon in the future, especially when it starts to get colder. It's nice to cozy up and have some popcorn. And we also got to do an art lesson. Isn't that right? Yeah. So can you please respond to this video and share with us the corn stalk, the corn art project that you did, or share some popcorn with us. All right? My popcorn has lots of herbs and butter on it, but it doesn't need to. You can make your popcorn any way you like. All right, friends, let's get our popcorn seeds ready. Ready? Plant the little seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down comes the cool rain, soft and slow. Up comes the little plants, grow, 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 and pop, pop, pop. Have a great day, friends. See you soon.